Good morning, everyone. Well, it's the 10th of December. It's Wednesday morning, and we want to think we're in control, don't we? We think we got things in our control, and all we have to do is use our brains, and we can cause anything to happen that we want. But we're mistaken. We're not in control. God is in control. There's a song, God is in control. You might want to listen to that on YouTube. God is in control. I was listening to a couple different people answer questions regarding the sovereignty of God and the responsibility of man. You know, one of the gentlemen that was talking about this, I won't mention his name, asked some pretty good questions. He said, did you control where you were born? I've often asked the question, did you control who your parents were? Did you control whether you would be a boy or a girl? See, that's the problem with this transgender movement. They think they're in control of what gender they are. They're not in control. I heard a person got stopped on the highway, and the cop said, I need to have your driver's license. And the fellow says, I identify as a cat. And the policeman said, well, I'm going to have to take you over to the city because cats are not allowed to have licenses to drive on the road. And have you had all your shots? You know, just because people say they identify as something doesn't mean that that's what they are, right? You say, well, I identify as a Christian. Well, are you an elect child of God? Did God choose you? Did he purchase your salvation with his blood? I've had a lot of people say I'm in charge of my destiny by my choices. There's a group of people I know that actually believe they did choose their own parents. You know, people that hold a reincarnation think a lot of them think they're in control of all their past lives. They chose supposedly the lives that they used to have in the past. Well, a lot of people also believe they have a free will. And it's interesting the other words people will use, free moral agency. What a joke. Free moral agency to people who are born and conceived in sin. They're free moral agents. People say, well, Larry, you make choices every day. You know, the Bible says in him we live and move and have our being. You know, it would better be described of man's depravity and his condition as described him as slaved immoral agents of Satan. Slaved, immoral agents of Satan, not free moral agents. We're all bondage. We're all in bondage to sin at birth. We're born and conceived in sin. Total depravity. And the only way that we're going to come to Christ is if He chooses us. Unconditional election. And not everyone is chosen. Christ told the Pharisees, "You're of your father the devil, and the works of him you will do." Limited atonement. Irresistible grace. All that the Father hath given me shall come to me. John 6:37. Irresistible grace. All that the Father hath given me will come to me. If you've come to Christ, it's only because you've been given to Him by the Father. Final perseverance of the saints. He's the author and finisher of our faith. Hebrews 12:2. For the joy set before Him, He says He's the author and finisher of our faith. For the joy that was set before Him, He despised and sat down at the right hand of God. So this morning, if you think you're in control, you're deceived. If you think you controlled your own destiny, you're deceived. If you think you're a free moral agent, you're deceived. If you believe you have a free will, you're deceived. God bless.